All right, let's get into it. We're about to solve a mystery that's happening, well, right on top of your own head. I'm talking about that frustrating, invisible wall your hair seems to hit, where it just refuses to grow even one more inch.
I mean, have you ever looked in the mirror and had that weird feeling that your hair is the exact same length it was a year ago, or even 2 years ago? You've been patient, you've taken care of it, but it feels like your body just slammed on the brakes.
And look, that feeling, it's totally universal. It really is this tantalizing torment, right? You've got this vision in your head, but biology seems to have a completely different plan for you. So, what's really going on here? Let's do some investigating. Okay, so our investigation starts at the source of the whole mystery. We're zooming in on the microscopic crime scene where this decision gets made, the hair follicle itself. You might think there's, one big clock for all your hair, but the reality is way, way cooler than that. Every single follicle, and we're talking tens of thousands of them on your head alone, is running on its own totally independent schedule. It's like each one has its own tiny personal timer. And this just shows you how wildly different those little clocks can be. I mean, think about it. The follicles on your scalp, they're programmed for a marathon. They can keep going for years. But the follicle for one of your eyelashes, that's a 30-day sprint, and then it's done. Same body, same you, but a completely different set of instructions. So how exactly does this clock tick? Well, the ticking of this follicle clock isn't random at all. It follows a very specific three-phase cycle. And understanding this cycle is the absolute key to cracking this case. So first up, you've got anagen. That's the main event, the active growth phase. Then comes catagen, which is just a short little transition where things start to slow down. And finally, you hit telogen. That's the resting phase before the hair is shed, and the whole process just starts all over again with a brand new strand. Now listen up, because this is the crucial part right here. You can pretty much forget the other two phases for a second. The anagen phase, that is everything. The entire secret to how long your hair can possibly physically get is locked inside this one single phase. And here it is, the magic number. For the hair on your head, that growth phase, that anagen phase, lasts somewhere between 2 and 7 years. And once that timer dings for a particular hair, that's it. Growth is over. So that leads us to the final, most important question in our little investigation. Who or what is setting that timer? It's time to unmask the mastermind. And the culprit is your own DNA. I hate to break it to you, but the length of your personal anagen phase isn't decided by shampoos or supplements or just wishing really hard. It's pre-programmed. It was written into your body's instruction manual the day you were born. And the result of that genetic code is super direct and simple. If your internal manual sets your timer for about 2 years, your hair just has less time to grow. It's that simple. But if you're coded for, say, 7 years, you have the potential for some seriously incredible length. Think of Xi Jinping, who holds the world record for hair over 5 meters long. Her anagen phase is just on a whole other level. So what does this mean for the rest of us? Well, it means trying to grow your hair beyond that genetic limit is, as our source material puts it, a fundamentally unwinnable fight. You can make your hair healthier, shinier, stronger, but you can't actually make that growth phase any longer. But, just knowing its biology doesn't always make it feel better, does it? This unwinnable fight can be so incredibly frustrating. Which brings up a deeper question. If it's all just genetics, why do we care so much? What's the real motive behind our obsession with our hair? Well, because hair's never just hair, is it? It's like this travelable companion that comes with us through our whole lives. It's a physical record of our past, and it's one of the fastest ways we have to signal to the world who we are or who we want to be. I mean, just think of someone like Billie Eilish, whose hair becomes a huge part of her art and how she connects with people. It's deeply, deeply personal. And because it's so tied up in our identity, when it doesn't cooperate, when it hits that invisible wall, the feeling goes way deeper than just being annoyed. It's really easy to internalize that limitation. It can make us feel like we're the ones falling short, like a part of us that's meant for self-expression is fundamentally broken. So if we can't win this fight against biology, is the only option just to give up? Well, not exactly. The resolution here isn't about changing our genetics. It's about reframing the entire battle. It's about finding a different and, honestly, a much more powerful way to see the whole story. There's this really powerful idea that completely shifts the narrative. It suggests that this thing we see as a break, this genetic limit, It isn't an endpoint at all. In fact, it's an opportunity. It's a starting point for creating something new and maybe even more beautiful.
One amazing way to reframe this is through the Japanese concept of mottainai. On the surface, it's a feeling of regret about waste, but it has this deeper wisdom, finding real satisfaction and beauty in just enough. So instead of mourning the length you can't have, it's about celebrating and making the absolute most of the amazing hair you do have without wastefully wishing for more.
And this leads us to an even more beautiful philosophy, kintsugi. This is the incredible Japanese art of repairing broken pottery, but instead of hiding the cracks, they illuminate them with gold. The whole idea is that the break and the repair are a vital part of the object's history, a history that makes it more valuable, not less. The break literally becomes the most beautiful, celebrated feature.
And that's really the ultimate resolution to our whole investigation. Your genetic limit isn't a flaw that you need to hide or a sign that you're broken. It's simply a part of your unique story. It is a crack that you can choose to fill with the gold of acceptance and creativity and radical self-expression. It's what makes your story your story.
Which leaves us with one last thought to chew on. And this idea goes so far beyond just hair. In a world that is constantly screaming for more, bigger, longer, better, how do you find the gold in your own unique instruction manual? How do you embrace the beautiful defining limits of your own biology?